If you have a mentee that doesn't seem to have a sense of direction, the fact that they've joined the mentoring program means that they must be looking for some sense of direction, otherwise they wouldn't have joined the program. So part of the role of the mentor is to work with them to explain how to set goals, how to come up with a plan. It's like driving from A to B. You need a map of how you're going to get there.
Assisting a mentee to work out what they want from the mentor-mentee relationship is something that you should probably discuss right at the very beginning. I would expect a mentee over time to build up a rapport with you and know what they're going to get from each session, or at least have some plan in their mind as to what they want to achieve. But right at the very beginning is probably a good time to have some very open-ended questions and dialogue, like what is it that you want from this process? What is it that I can bring to you? What is it that you're hoping to achieve at the end of this process? What is working for you? What isn't working for you? You can tease out those sorts of questions from your mentee, or those sorts of answers from your mentee, by asking open questions. You've got to avoid asking a mentee closed questions, otherwise they're not going to grow. And if they're shy and nervous, which can often be the case, particularly if they have a prominent person sitting on the other side of the table, which hopefully you have sometimes, you've got to be open to how that person may be feeling.
It's really common for all of us in life to sometimes not know exactly what it is what we're looking for, but as the mentor, you've just got to ask the questions, and it's okay if you don't know what you're going to talk about today. But one thing I do try and kind of emphasize with my mentees is come to the conversation with at least one thing you want to talk about. It doesn't matter if it's not sticking to the original plan that we had, but it's a more productive conversation if you come with one thing on your mind that you'd like to chat about, even if it's something that's happened during your week, the week before, that you're grappling with, because from that conversation we'll move on to other things, and hopefully the mentee will feel they got something out of that conversation.
In my experience as a coach and a mentor, what I find is often if you ask somebody, what's your goal, they really don't have a clear picture of that. So if they're struggling with that, everyone does tend to be aware of what their problems or obstacles are. So go to that. Go to, okay, so is there anything getting in the way of you at the moment? Is there anything that you perceive to be a problem that you're trying to deal with? Let's look at that. And then from there, you can move forward to saying, okay, so the goal is to act differently, or to learn some behaviours or some skills to overcome that obstacle.
Assisting the mentee that does not have a specific goal, it's self-evident, but help them form a goal. If they're finding it difficulty in forming a goal, go back to the previous step and ask, why have you joined the mentoring program? And I think in following that process, the mentee will come to the realisation they need to think carefully about why they're in the profession, what they want to achieve, and in that sense a mentor can assist them. If both of you want to continue, but you're really not quite sure what the next step is, I'd refer both back to the ACC mentoring resources.
So my advice to a mentor with a mentee that's struggling for direction would be to really bring it back to help them reflect on their strengths. So kind of looking at, where are the areas that you're already doing well and how you'd like to use that. And there are some good tools to be able to do that, some free tools. You could use the VIA strengths, but there's also fantastic tools like the Realise 2 and Strengths Finder that can be really powerful. But outside of that, you can just explore that in a really natural way. There are also some really simple techniques that I often do with my clients in that space. One is for them to imagine themselves in 5 years' time performing at their best and what that would actually look like, which can provide a really tangible thing for the mentor to work on them with. Or another more morbid way of looking at it is write your obituary. Actually write what you'd like your eulogy even to sound like at the end of your life. So there's some simple techniques. Another way could even be to say, what gets you out of bed in the morning? Like, why did you actually start this profession? What is the legacy that you would like to leave? Which allows them to really develop that sense of purpose and meaning in their work.
I think sometimes when a mentee is unclear in terms of their direction or what direction to take, that's actually okay. You don't necessarily have to give people the answer, and sometimes mentees just want a sounding board and want to talk through a problem. Lawyers are really intelligent people and really self-aware people. So it might be that you don't need to give them the answer, they just need a forum to work it through themselves. But if you think that a mentee actually is looking for an answer and looking for some particular direction, then the best way to do it is to work through all of their various options with them, and perhaps think about sending them home with a little bit of homework. Give them some tools using the resources on the website and get them to do some reading and think about the issue themselves, so that when you come back to the next mentoring session, you can work through with them where they've arrived to, and that will help, I think, refocus the question and perhaps, the next steps in terms of their development.